everyone, this is Lara Hammock from the Marble Jar channel, and in today's video I'll talk about the new Siri Shortcuts, and I'll show you how to use it to automate routine iPhone and iPad actions. This is the first of a three-part tutorial. So recently with iOS 12, Apple launched Siri Shortcuts. It has hit with a splash, but it's not really a new app or even new functionality. Instead, it is a rebranding, relaunching, and function expansion of the old Workflows app. In fact, when you install iOS 12, Apple just turns your Workflow app and all of its data into Siri Shortcuts. Okay, confession time. So I found out about the Workflow app really late, like a couple of months ago. And I became so obsessed with automating iPhone and iPad functions that I immediately did a series of 3 videos about it. Unfortunately, these videos were still in the hopper when Apple changed Workflow to Siri Shortcuts, which rendered all 3 videos obsolete. So that was the bad news for me. The good news is that Siri Shortcuts, despite its new name, really is exactly the same as the Workflow app with some new features. So here's what I decided to do. Instead of refilming and re-editing the entire series, I'm going to tell you what's been updated and then present the series as is with some editing tweaks where the interface has changed. So first, what is Siri Shortcuts? It's essentially an automation tool. So there are some things that you do all the time, repetitively, which might require several steps on your iPhone. Siri Shortcuts allows you to automate these actions so that you can perform them with one click, or, and this is new, with a Siri command. So as far as I can tell, there are really only 2 major and positive updates to Workflows with this rebranding. Number 1, Siri Commands. So the old Workflow app required that you kick off every automation with the click of a button. Now you can add a voice command to each shortcut and kick it off either by voice or by button. So I'm going to show you how to do this later in the tutorial, but it is simple and straightforward and great additional functionality as we all move towards a more natural conversational relationship with our electronic devices. The second big update that Siri Shortcut makes: creating automations easier. So this was a good move. After all, there was a reason that I named the series Workflow for Non-Programmers. It was a bit intimidating and complicated to just casually use this app. So now Apple has made it a much easier entry. Of course, making more complicated automations still requires some expertise. So how is it easier? It's easier in 2 ways. First, suggestions. So Apple has planted suggestions within its own apps and within integrated third-party apps. So, for example, if I go to more options within this Evernote note, you can see Create a Siri Shortcut is one of the suggestions. If I hit this, Siri Shortcut will automatically create this automation with a Siri command associated with it, and it will save it locally to my app to use as many times as I want. Brilliant. So Apple hides Siri Shortcut suggestions in a bunch of places: in the sharing sheets, your lock screen, settings, and search. So you are constantly aware of different ways to use it. The other way they simplify automation creation is by sharing. So if you've already created an automation or a shortcut, you can share it with other people so that they can also use it without having to create it from scratch. So this was always an option with third-party sites, but there seems to be a bigger proliferation of sharing sites for shortcuts after the new launch. One particularly robust site to check out is dubbed Sharecuts. So one thing I'm mourning the loss of is the old integration with the Apple Watch. I used Workflow automations to extend the functionality of my watch by being able to record my weight, send voice notes, and do a couple of other things on my watch with a click of a button. So these have disappeared with Siri Shortcuts, but hopefully they will be back in a future launch. Okay, so without further ado, here is my tutorial. This is mostly done with the Workflow app, but where the interface is significantly different, I provided some commentary and edits. There were some good videos out there, but I thought I'd tailor this video specifically to people like me, non-programmers who just like efficiency. So Workflow has apps for both the iPhone and iPad. My iPad happens to be a lot faster than my iPhone, so I'm going to do most of the demoing on that. But I'll show you when the screens look significantly different between the 2 devices. When you launch Workflow, there are 2 screens to choose from: My Workflows, which contain all of the automations that you have created, and Gallery, which contains a bunch of automations created by others to use as samples or as starting places. If you are just starting out, you will want to look through the gallery to get an idea of all the different automation ideas available. They have the automation sorted into categories. And here are some of the possibilities. Start a playlist, speed dial someone, log weight or water intake, email a daily schedule to yourself, search a list on Google, zip a file and email it, convert photos to GIF, or get directions to locations on today's schedule. So there are tons of already created workflows and even more out there on the internet. The fastest way to create a workflow is to find one that basically does what you want to do and then choose to get workflow. It will then download to your device and it will appear under My Workflows. You can open it right from the gallery here, or you can find it under My Workflows and open it there. So now that it's downloaded to your device, you can edit it and make changes to your heart's content. Okay, so let's just back up for a second. What is a workflow? A workflow is just a series of actions that are linked together automatically. So for example, take this simple workflow, play playlist. This workflow has two actions, which are represented by these boxes. The first is to get playlist, and the second action plays that music with some additional commands like whether shuffle is on or off and whether or not to repeat songs on the playlist. In order to play the workflow, you hit this arrow up here. Watch. I hit the play button, and the workflow gets the playlist I specified and begins playing it on shuffle. Okay, so the workflows are made of a bunch of actions that happen one after another automatically. The order of the actions is important. Workflow starts at the top and it moves from one action down to the next one at a time, kind of like a set of dominoes. You can switch the order of actions easily by dragging them up or dragging them down. You can also delete actions by hitting the X up here to the right side of the action box. New actions can be added to your workflow by going into actions and dragging one over to your workflow. So this looks a little different on an iPhone since there isn't as much space. You either have to swipe left to go to the action screen or hit the actions icon down here. Then you can drag an action into your workflow just like on an iPad. So one last thing. You can see that there's a faint line joining these two action boxes, right? So that means that action 1 is actually feeding information to action 2. The output of the get playlist action becomes the input for the play music action. So we're going to go into more detail on that in a second. So let's talk about actions. There are lots of actions to choose from, and again, they are split into categories. You can also easily keyword search for actions up at the top. If you tap on an action, you'll get an explanation of what that action does, a summary of the inputs and outputs or the results, and a spot where you can mark it as a favorite. So I think of actions as like little machines. You feed input into it, it does something with it, and it produces an output. Input, action, output. Many times the input comes from the action just before, so that the output of the previous action becomes the input for the current action. So we're going to use our prior example. Get playlist doesn't have an input, but it does output the selected playlist of songs, which it then passes to the next action as an input. Play playlist grabs this input, and its output is playing that list of songs. So this might be a little hard to understand, but it will become a lot more clear as you start to use these actions. Okay, so there are roughly 3 different types of actions: get, transform, and share. Get actions obtain information like photos, information, contacts, events, etc. In order to act on a piece of content, it has to be introduced into the workflow, and get actions performs that function. Get playlist is a good example, but there are lots of other actions that do this. Get actions start with words like get, search, find, or select. Here are some examples: search local businesses, find contacts, get latest videos, or select email address. So get actions obtain pieces of information and then it passes them to the next action as outputs. Transform actions. They take an input and do something to it. They transform it in some way. So this is the true machine action. It takes an input, works some bit of magic on it, and produces an output. Transform actions start with words like make, filter, convert, edit, combine, translate, detect, filter, and adjust. Here are some examples: edit image, adjust date, make image from GIF, or make PDF. And finally, share actions take an input and then they share it either by showing it, sending it, recording it, or opening it in an app. This is the export function to get things from inside the process to somewhere else in the world. Share actions start with words like add, create, post, share, send, log, save, append, and open. Some examples are send email, log weight, append to note, or open URLs. Many workflows have a simple get, share formula, actually like the play playlist workflow that we just talked about, or they have a basic get, transform, share formula, like this workflow that I made to convert a photo into a PDF and then email it to my work address. The photo, take photo is a get action, make PDF is a transform action, and send email is a shared action. Let me play this workflow to show you how it works. So pretty cool, right? Join me next time when I talk about inputs, variables, debugging, adding workflow items to your home screen, and automation for the Apple Watch. Comments are always appreciated, and thanks for watching.